Ahoy, mateys. Yeah, real short notice. I'm sure the thumbnail just went up not even a minute ago. And even before I clicked on Go Live button, I'm getting yelled at. I don't know what she wants. She'll probably call me. She's one of the reasons I went live tonight. A little bit out of some frustration and a little bit about I'm trying to be real here. I'm not hiding things. I'm an open book. Probably sometimes I should be more of a closed book, but I'm not. I'm an open book. I don't have any secrets. There's Bree and Rampage Reseller. No, I didn't get the Saturn going yet. It could be tomorrow. I don't know. It depends on the weather. Also depends on I have some scrap to pick up. I might be doing a video for that Class C that the people want to sell. Plus, they have a boat that they want to sell, a speedboat. And yikes. Yeah. But if I can get to the scrapyard in the next few days, I intend to take the BCM out from under the dash. It's up to 02, they had them above the speedometer area, but you got to pull that dash back up and then it's glued in place on a little tray, according to videos that I've watched. Beyond 2002, they're over in the glove compartment area. I'll never pronounce that name, but welcome aboard. Young Abigail, okay? Pleased to meet you. Welcome aboard. Oh, by the way, if anyone here is watching the replay, thank you. Hit the thumbs up if you don't mind. That'd be cool. And I appreciate that you came aboard. And I expect that probably will happen. You're tired of the doll freak you out. Well, it is moving. And I turned our light off because otherwise it kind of floods out a little bit. So I am using a new floodlight. And I can actually, it's kind of cool. I can sit here and adjust it, I think. Yeah. Hey, that goes good with my Romulan ale. I'm surprised that the Kool-Aid company is still in business. What was it, back in the 70s? The Jim Jones thing that happened in, what was it, Ghana, or I don't know where it was, but all those people suicided out by drinking the Kool-Aid. So, after a while, that's all you heard was, don't drink the Kool-Aid, don't drink the Kool-Aid, don't drink the Kool-Aid. I'm surprised the Kool-Aid company is back, still around. Moo, welcome aboard. Okay, it's midnight. You're correct. It's 12:08. I was not really expecting to go live, but about an hour and a half ago, I said, you know what? I think I might go live. Partially because I want to straighten some things out if I can. I was on Tina's The Outsiders live stream, and it was all fun and games to a certain degree. But then I thought, people might be getting the wrong impression about me. And maybe Tina's live stream isn't the place to be joking back and forth and this and that. I don't know. Watching from the Philippines, that's super cool. We're getting a lot more people coming in from the Philippines. And that is really an amazing thing to come into our community. I've learned a lot about the Philippines from watching some of y'all's videos. Y'all. By the way, Tamsack. I've learned one word. One word. Yeah. Well, thank you. I did not think to go live, but you know what? This might be something I may try. Now, if I had to work tomorrow, actual work with my boss, which is a part-time job, it's not a deal. But we're not working tomorrow, so you know what? It's okay that I can stay up a little later tonight. I am tired. I can feel it in my eyeballs. I'm tired. But I just thought, you know what? I'm going to try this. I checked StreamYard just to make sure. And I've got like 8 hours left for the month for live streaming. Well, my Saturday live streams will not take up more than 4 hours. So I'm not going to run out of hours by going live tonight. And besides, I probably only will be live for another 20 minutes, maybe. We'll see. We'll see how it goes. We get a lot of people in here and we're having a big discussion. Why not? I show too. I just bumped the switch on my radio with my elbow. Turned it on. Well, at least I turned something on. Anyway, Ron Darrell will probably be going live here any minute. He usually goes live every night at about anywhere from 12:30 to 1 o'clock in the morning. He goes live. So I don't want to step on his toes. Rampage Reseller, I want to say something to you. There's a channel called Traveling Salvation, Sell-Vation. They are eBayers. I think you've met Dave on my channel, a Midwest Picker. Great channel. In fact, he's inspired me to do kind of a series of Captain Jack's Planet to tell you true stories about my life. Although this is titled Captain Jack's Planet tonight, but this is more on a, well, I guess you could say it's my life, but it's kind of a reality check. Let's have a reality check. Yes, she's an automaton. She's one of the originals from Disney World. Not really. I believe she was born in China, but she was sold into slavery in Frankenmuth, Michigan. I intend to take her to Frankenmuth, Michigan on a visit one of these cold days. Well, they're not going to be cold much longer, but I'm hoping that I can take the camper up to Frankenmuth, take Michelle with me, and we'll visit Bronner's Christmas store in Frankenmuth, Michigan. Should be fun. And Holly's yelling at me. What? She should just have to call me. Todd, welcome aboard. Let me see if I can nip this in the bud before it gets to be a shouting match. She won't answer. It's possible she won't answer. What in the world? Why won't it go through? Who won't let me dial her? There it goes. Yeah. Please leave your message. Huh, we're straight to voicemail. Now, she says that happens to her all the time, that my phone goes straight to voicemail. But yet, any one of you here could call me, and it wouldn't go to voicemail. Oh, did you, Moo Moo? I don't know. They're fun. I've had Michelle around now for at least 13 years. About 13. Somewhere in there. There's Ann. Well, we're not dash camming, but we're live from my bedroom. It's an experiment. I was a little bit stirred up, but I'm not too shaken. But I want to give it to you straight up. And I'm thirsty, so I'm still drinking the Romulan ale. And chance to play with my new light. What do we have? We had a little more blue here a few minutes ago. Whoops. That's off. Okay, now we're kind of bluish there. That's more on off. Okay. A little more gray. A little more sienna. Blue. Wow. That's almost like a daylight color. We'll go with that. Here's Zoller, a juggler made in Germany. Whoa. Yeah, and I just decided to go live. I was on Tina's The Outsiders live earlier tonight. In fact, I was the one that said, you better go live. She didn't really want to, but she did. So it was my fault. And then Jill Weatherly and I got into a back and forth. And I don't know, things just didn't seem to be actually going quite right. It was going a little bit south, as they say. Like, well, hang on a second. Number one, I have a hard time getting a date because I'm not going to lie about it. I have a roommate. She's female. Okay. No, there's no relationship. 8 years ago, I thought there might be, but turned out there wasn't. In fact, she even had her husband move in here for a couple years. Did I say no? No, I didn't say no. In fact, I went and helped her go get him and bring him up here. That didn't work out very well. And he has since passed. Rest in peace. But yeah, I cared enough about her to do what I thought she wanted, what would be good for her. Holly, I can't answer you right now. I'm not going to shout. I will be on I will be with BB3 on BB3. It will be Tuesday night. BB3 is setting up the thumbnail. It'll be Tuesday, May the 3rd. Is that May the 3rd? Yes, May 3rd, Tuesday, and it should be at 6:45 p.m. Eastern. In other words, it'll be just ahead of Tina's The Outsider. BB3 and I got our own little thing going on that should be fun. And then hopefully we'll do a raid for Tina's The Outsider because our little thing shouldn't take more than 15 minutes. It's an experiment. See how it goes. And if it goes well, there'll be more of them. We're just dipping our toes in the water. You know, sometimes that's what you got to do. You got to, well, it's like starting a YouTube channel. Huh? I don't know a thing about public speaking. Yeah, I've done that. I'm an extrovert, so that part I had going for me. Some people are introverts, and they have a really tough time doing YouTube or anything similar, even TikTok or whatever. I'm not interested in TikTok, but yeah, who knows someday. But yeah, it takes a little bit. But I have heard that some people who are introverted do have problems a little bit with speaking in public and a little bit shy, if you will, camera shy. This has helped them. They've overcome some of their anxieties. So there's nothing wrong with that. What happened at the bridge? Did you hurt yourself? No, I did not hurt myself. What that was, there was that iron pipe down in the swamp. And I thought, you know what? I don't think that thing is buried. Where it came from, I have no clue. The only thing I can think is that a worker left it and they were too lazy to do anything about it. Uh, it's obvious it's been there a while. And I said, you know what? I don't think I'm going to sink into the swamp too deep. And I'm only half a mile from the truck. Shouldn't be too hard for me to carry it. And I did. I carried it on my shoulder back to the truck, half a mile on that Fred Meyer Flat River Nature Trail. So, hey, it's probably worth $1. Scrap. Added it to the pile. Moo Moo Coo, you can get over it. You really can. It's I don't know. It's like when you're on YouTube, and especially in this community, you're with your friends. Holly, I can't answer you. Try again.
Please leave your message for.
Leave a message. She's yelling, and I don't want to yell back. Let me see. I'll try this. Let me see. Yeah, I'll mute myself. Okay, I'm back. I hope you can hear me. Yes, it was an adventure. Yeah, kissing the bridge. That I didn't make that thumbnail. That just happened to be part of the video. So I couldn't upload a video to that video. It uploaded itself. They gave you 3 choices. YouTube does that automatically. They gave you 3 choices out of a thumbnail, or you can, upload a thumbnail of your own choosing. The problem with that, like a JPEG, there'll be over 2 MB. YouTube will not let you load a thumbnail that's bigger than 1 MB. So I have learned on some of my thumbnails that are JPEGs, I've learned how to crop them down. You know, they might end up being grainy too because I reduced the resolution down to where it's less than 1 MB. In other words, it's got to be in kilobytes, and then you can use it as a thumbnail. Yep. She's taken care of. She understood what I was saying. And I was yelling, my bedroom door is just this way. And it's shut. I don't know. Because if I didn't shut it, you'd be hearing her TV. 24/7 that TV's on. And then, she doesn't understand why our electric bill is so high. Well, it's not the TV. Although that does add to it. It's our oxygen machine. That's what's adding to the electric bill. That was another thing. I just don't know how it's going to go. I keep encouraging her, you've got to get better. She did get her nebulizer tonight. But seriously, looking at the budget, there is no way that I can travel and leave her here with a different nurse. There's no way. I cannot maintain this house and go traveling. This is not possible. Plus, I'd be losing the nursing income, which isn't a lot, but it's helpful. So something's got to give, something's got to go. She can't afford to maintain this house on her own. It's, if she could, I would say, okay, we'll get the other nurse and blah, blah, but no. So the best choice, which is really the first choice, is for her to go with me. the state of Michigan will still pay me to take care of her, even if we are mobile. We can be in Arizona, and the state will pay me. Just have to do the paperwork every week, like I do anyway, or not every week, but every month. And then have to figure out, okay, let's say we are in Arizona. I have to figure out, have the check mailed, because they do not do automatic deposit. They give you a physical check. And it comes in both names. It comes in her name and my name. Don't ask me why it's that way, but that's the way it is. Probably it's a way to eliminate scammers, which is good. Then the hard part is, okay, how do we cash it in a different state? So I may have to set up a bank account, or I talked to my credit union a little bit. Now, there's only 2 branches of my credit union, and of course, they're both right here in Michigan. One's in Sparta, and one's up the road a ways up in Fremont. I almost called it Pastoria. Don't ask me why. Starts with an F. That's freaking down up there. On the card, there's symbols like Cirrus, and I don't know. It's ATMs that will accept that card, which means if you get an ATM that accepts your card, you're not paying that $3 fee, or sometimes even more. You don't have to pay that fee. It's just like using the ATM at your own bank in your own town, blah, blah, blah. So the next step is to contact a bank that does honor that same Cirrus symbol or whatever that is, and then go there physically during the day once I've received the check and say, hey, here's our deal. I don't have an account here. If you want me to open up an account, I will, but only if I'm going to stay there for a few months. If I'm only going to be in Arizona for a month, well, then never mind. The next check that comes, I might be in California, or I might be in Oregon, or I might be in Texas. Yeah, I have to go through this hoop more than once. But that would be ideal if she could travel with me. Right now, the equipment that she's using is way too powerful. We'd have to be plugged into an electric campsite every night. There's no way battery power will maintain it. There's no way I can afford to be plugged into a RV campsite every night. That's typically $35 a night or more. Also, that's not happening. We've pretty much got a boondock. Now, on battery power, she's got oxygen equipment that operates on battery power, but it's not powerful enough right now. When she first started to have to be on oxygen, it was fine. In fact, she didn't even need her oxygen during the day, but at night she had to sleep with it. And it was on level 1. Now she's on level 4. So that's why she's on the bigger machines. But I mean, when I take her to the grocery store or to a doctor's appointment, whatever, we typically use a small portable tank, which she likes those better than she likes the battery powered impulse oxygenator. What's that called? Inogen. She doesn't like that pulse. She likes the steady oxygen flow. Well, you know what? The steady oxygen flow uses more oxygen, and on a generator, it uses more power. Who am I missing? Nomad News. All right. Rav, good to see you. This is great. I'm trying an experiment tonight, Rav. I'm in my studio. No, I'm not in my studio. I'm in bed. And I got the possessed doll with me, Michelle. she said I should go live, so I'm going live. She tells me what to type. Your stepmom, chronic smoker, and is on oxygen 24/7. Yeah, Holly is still smoking. Now, I quit, thankfully. I didn't want to, but I did. And I'm a whole lot happier for the fact that I did. Plus, you're right, Rev. Plus, you know, I was only spending $4 a day because I was smoking the little cigars, cheap. But they weren't doing me any good. Um, it was bad enough that my heart wasn't not operating properly. And then smoking didn't help, and probably drinking didn't help either. Now, I don't miss the not smoking so much. Every now and then I get an urge, like, whoa, especially after I eat, I want a cigarette. No, I'm fighting that. I eat more. Instead of smoking a cigarette, I eat a candy bar. Whatever. But my weight's okay. I'm 174. That's my ideal weight, so I'm okay. But back before I went into the hospital, I was 210 pounds. I couldn't hardly walk. I couldn't breathe. I was a mess. So that's good that you weren't a heavy smoker and don't become one. Joe, yeah, it is a little bit strange. At least people find her to be strange, and that's good. Fits my channel. Yeah, she's all right. Michelle's a good egg. Seriously, Michelle, this house is haunted, this cottage, and now the spirit that is in this cottage is now in her. I know you think I'm nuts. Well, so be it. I think it's true. Celestial Inspirations having a premiere. Okay. 2 Tims, slow down, fatty. Yeah. Well, the whole thing in the nutshell, Rav, was my body was retaining the fluids. So they put me on salt-free diet. I had to take pee pills, and it was terrible. And nothing worked. This went on for a couple of years. Finally, last November, I was to the point where, well, okay, to be vividly, grossly honest with you, I finally went into the hospital in an ambulance. My scrotum looked like a grapefruit about to explode. That's how much fluid I had retained and how badly my body had swollen. And I couldn't breathe. I was a mess. Well, my heart was at 15% capacity. So while I was there, they finally got the fluids pretty well down to my, I could actually pee without making a mess. And they were about to release me. I mean, they're saying, "Oh, you can go home this Friday." And I'd been there like 4 days. I said, "I don't want to go home yet." What do you mean? I'm not ready to go home yet. I want this. We talked about this 3 months ago. You talked to me about putting in a pacemaker, and I was kind of against it at the time. Well, I've changed my mind. Put the pacemaker in. Well, we'll have to schedule. I said, put the pacemaker in. So I stayed 2 extra days, and I came home 2 days after I was supposed to come home with a pacemaker. Now my heart's at 60%. I'm no longer on pee pills. As a matter of fact, I'm down to half of what I was taking as far as blood pressure medications. I've joined a gym. I'm getting there. I'm not a 6-pack yet. I'm about 2.5. My man boobs has gone away. I don't even need a training bra anymore. I can go braless. So, pretty good. Yeah, it was gross. yeah, I honestly could not urinate without just all over because I couldn't find my my testicles had overcome everything. It was gross and it was horrible and yeah. And I didn't even really care at the time because I always felt like I was dying and I didn't care if I did die. But here I am. God kept me around for some darn reason. So, anyways, Rev, I'll try to get out to see you if, God willing, I've been trying this for 3 years now. We got to get Holly better so she can travel. And that's what it'll take. And then my boss says we're done in August, so good. I'm trying to save up every bit of money I can. I got to put some new tires on the schoolie. That's really all she needs. Then I got to figure out how to afford the diesel. Michelle won't have that. She'll fight you. Yeah, I know. That might give you nightmares. I don't have a problem. She stays here right behind me all the time. You know. And as I said earlier on, yes, Jill, I'm live. It's partly your fault, and I wore the green shirt because I know you like it. Um, she will be going with me up to Frankenmuth. She wants to see her where she was sold out of slavery into into my life. I think she wants to go up there and sing too. Oh, Jill, get used to it. That's just Michelle. She's a friendly spirit. She, you know, like I was telling the other people, she's been with me for 13 years. You didn't do anything. You're okay, Jill. But after the live stream tonight, I just sat there and I thought and I thought and I thought and I thought. I said, maybe people are getting the wrong idea. I made to come on, go live, and say, hey, I'm me. I'm sorry I have a patient that I have to take care of. There is no romantic relationship between me and my patient. No, I can't really have a dating life, if you will, because she's here in my house. Yeah, that won't work. And that's a real bummer. Now, if she goes with me traveling, I could run into the same thing. Somebody might be interested in me. Hell, it might be you. But now Tina knows Holly. But, Tina's met Holly a couple times. Um, and so Tina knows the situation. And even though you know that I like Tina, there's not going to be a relationship there because Tina's not ready for a relationship. So I understand that. And I hate narcissists. And here's the other thing. I'm going to get this off my chest. What I find, and I don't think Tina quite understood what I meant, that I said, well, I seem to attract girls like you. What I meant by that is that the girls that I have met in my life in the last several years, they all have the same problem. Well, not the same problem, but, similar problems. For instance, Donna, the lady I was helping with her car. Yuck, 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 yuck. I mean, burn my ears off, bitching about what a control freak her ex-husband was. I don't want to hear it. I sympathize. I'm sorry that it happened. And I don't want to hear about it. Okay, so perhaps Donna's going through some kind of self-protection mode, which is good. And then, okay, Holly's sister. She was a slave living in a van down in the Allegan Woods for 2 years until another one of Holly's sisters, Robin, finally got her out of that situation. Now, I've helped her. with a couple things in her new apartment, things that she needed. And again, I hear about the guy that kept her as a slave. Okay, now I know about codependence. Um, it happens. And I just want to kill assholes who mistreat women. They're ruined. But girls like Tina or Donna, uh, I can't even name all their names right off the top of my head, but girls that I know, girls that don't want a relationship. Why don't they want a relationship? Because they've been burned by an asshole. Holly's the same way, by the way. Now, Holly's turned it around. Now she's the asshole. Now, she's always been, according to her sister, she's always been Holly, which means everything has to be her way or no way. But Holly's been abused. It's the reason she doesn't want a relationship. 8 years ago, when she suddenly appeared on my doorstep, I had hopes of, wow, the Lord is smiling on me. Now I'm about to say, hey, Lord, what? All right, I'm missing things. Lynn the Okie, welcome aboard. Jill saying slave, sex type. Yeah, sex. Well, in Dawn's situation, which was Holly's sister, she was a sex slave in the manner of speaking. Michelle wasn't. Michelle was she's stuck in Bronner's Christmas factory in Frankenmuth till I rescued her. The Chinese sold her into slavery at Bronner's Christmas factory. Good. I had that feeling about you, Joe. You've learned, obviously. You know to not paint yourself in a corner like I have. You don't go into a restaurant and have the door behind you. You turn and face the door. You and I would have to sit on the same side of the table then. Because I got to face the door too. And I won't paint myself into a corner again, even though I'm still stuck in a corner right now. But yeah, I got thinking about that's a good analogy. Somebody who paints the floor, if they're not careful, they will paint themselves into a corner and they can't get out unless they want to wreck the paint. You got to paint back and forth, and your butt's heading for the door every time, But I'd have a hard time painting the floor because I can't have my back to the door. I want to see who's going to come in and shoot me. Okay, a harem. Wow. Wow, you just made my eyes go that big. That's incredible. Someday when you want to talk about it, holy cow, tell us. Write a book. Wow. Oh my. A sheikdom. Being a Westerner, we really don't understand Arabics, the Arab ways. No idea. We sort of, some of us have come around to understanding a little bit more of Islam, which is, of course, the backbone for many uh, Saudi Arabians, the vast majority of them. Okay, their culture is different. They can have more than one wife, and it's not considered to be like it would be in our side of the world. Um, although that kind of stuff does go on in our side of the world. Um, I'm not trying to be delicate. I'm just trying to make my train of thought go in the right direction. Yes, you should write a book. Are you using talk to text? If you are, you're doing pretty good. You're the third wife. Oh man, you could teach us so much. I was wondering about that. You know, if I was a polygamist, how would I pull that off? And what would my so-called ladies think of one another? How does that work? Then I got to thinking, well, King Solomon pulled it off in a grand way. You loved it there? Oh my. See now, wow, you have got some insights and some. You're a hero in my book. Man, I haven't had. I don't know. I've known some Muslim people. Uh, I only knew one Arab, and didn't really know him all that well. I had to do some plumbing work in his house, in his apartment, because I was an apartment maintenance guy. This is back in the 70s. I mean, we talk and stuff, but I was kind of surprised at his bathtub. Man, pretty oily. Yeah. Wow, that is fascinating. Well, I'm gonna turn this show over to Jill. I was gonna have a reality show tonight talking about me, but I don't hold a candle. Michelle, there. And she says she don't want to hold a candle to you either, Joe. That's an electric candle. Don't worry, I'm not gonna set my bed on fire. One big family. That's incredible. You know, it's how we're raised when you think about it. Now, I'm old enough to have been raised in a family that was highly prejudiced. My parents were prejudiced against blacks, against Jews. I grew up hearing stuff. Fortunately, I don't know, I lived in the right time where peer pressure, perhaps, nay, not even peer pressure, but what we were learning in school, in high school, was totally different than what we were more not necessarily taught, but what we heard at home. And my parents were astute enough, in my opinion, to let me make up my own mind. They were raised Episcopalian. I was not raised anyway. They were not attending the Episcopalian church. Um, they weren't practicing. Yeah, we had our saying grace at Thanksgiving, at least. Basically, a Christian oriented family, but not practicing so much. But the neighbors invited me to go to church, and so I started going to church with my friend, and I became a Christian at 8 years old. Sure, that didn't stick. I had to redo it more than once. But, so I was raised in the Christian faith as well, just not in a particular doctrine. I went to a Bible church, which I guess you could say is a doctrine in and of its own. But then again, when you think about, okay, who's interpreting the Bible? So there you go. But I try to be open minded. And one of the things about being open minded, you still wear your abaya and veil. What's an abaya? Lindy, okay, I like that. Sister wives. I know what a veil is, of course. Abaya. I want to know what's an abaya. Um, it's not like a burqa, is it? Where you're covered, your body's covered. We see your shoes, but no ankles. All right, back to how we're raised. And it depends on where you're raised as well. Now, where I was born and raised in the Bible Belt. It's also known as a Rust Belt, but it's the Bible Belt. And yeah, some people had the doctrines shoved down their throat so hard, and they drank the Kool-Aid, so to speak. They did some weird things. Our area, Zeeland, Hudsonville, Holland, Michigan, very, very Dutch. But, there was no dancing in school. No, no TV in the house. Everything was really suppressed for many, many families, Dutch families, if you will. And as a result, Zeeland had the highest unwed mother birth rate in the nation. Zeeland is a little tiny town north of Holland, Michigan. Very, very Dutch. And the girls got pregnant behind the barn. That's just how it went. My senior year in high school was the very first year. This was 1972. First time they ever had a dance at the public high school. No, they didn't have dancing at the parochial school. But yeah, public school dance, if you will. First time, 1972, where I went. That was a big deal. I'm sure there were some ministers rolling over. Black graduation gown. Okay. Yeah, I wonder about that, Moo. It's like, it's got to be sweating under there. Brian and Ed, welcome aboard. Enjoyed your lives the other night. I couldn't stay. And I tried to say some things about Disneyland charging too much, but you guys are on a different rant. So I had to go anyways. Holly needed me. So, okay, 9/11. Thank you, Joe. I was kind of leading up to a similar thing. Now, for instance, when we went through World War II, now I wasn't born until 1953, and World War II was over in 1945. Anyways, but the nuclear thing, and then we went into the Cold War with pretty much Russia, and we were told, duck and cover, and there was an attitude, at least in my mind and with other people, my peers, Russia's bad. Russia's bad. Germans are bad. Well, we ended up laughing at the Germans and making shows like Hogan's Heroes, and the Japs weren't so bad either. I mean, we had McHale's Navy. I mean, come on. we kind of learned that, okay, the Japanese people and the German people, they're good people, which makes you wonder. I think maybe the Russian people are good too. And I bet, you probably sit down and see eye to eye on a few things with an Arab. 13 December. Yes, 13 December. I am a Sagittarian. And no, you don't have to get me a birthday gift. I already have a birthday suit, which you know. I only wore the shirt tonight for you. Well, Tina says, he likes to go with no shirt. That's right. I don't like clothes. And that's a truth. I do not like clothes. I'm not a nudist in the strictest sense of what a nudist is supposed to be. I've never been to a nudist colony, and I never will. But I hate clothes. I just hate clothes. I've been that way my whole life. Don't like clothes. Marriage license, and the clerk asked Scott, how many previous marriages? He said 2. The clerk turned to me and said, I said 1, and the third time is a charm, so I have one more try. Well, that's cool. My friend Tom, we're getting off the subject, but we'll go back to prejudiceness and how you were raised. But my boss was saying to me, he says, he says Match.com and there's some other dating. There's ones that are geared towards seniors like me. And he was talking about his experiences with the dating thing. And he says, you'd be surprised. So if you're looking to just get laid for one night, it'll happen. But if you're looking for a relationship, that can happen too. And it happened to him. And he met his lovely lady on Matchmaker or one of those. And I'm still kind of leery of that kind of thing. It's like, when do they want my credit card? Not maybe the ladies, the company. And nothing's free. Nothing's free. But now I am off track. I don't think it matters how many times you've been married. But he was talking about one of the things you have to actually fill out a questionnaire. I guess that's probably for all of them. But he said he was filling out the questionnaire, and one of the questions was how many times you've been married. In his case, it was 2, and they refused his membership for that particular dating site. They refused his membership. Really? That just seemed odd to me. Now, I've been married twice, and I probably could be married again. I'm not against marriage. I've been burned, but I'm not burned out. Let's put it that way. Cautious? Sure. But not against it. I think I still have a lot of love to give. And I'm not bragging. We're not going to get into why are you having a pop-up live. No, we're not getting into that. Yeah, Anne, I think, is from Oregon. And Lynn's not been married. Okay, prejudice. Wow, I've been on here almost 45 minutes already. Longer, actually. Almost going on an hour. Fine. I'm not in danger of losing my StreamYard hours yet. Wow, Moo. Now that sounds interesting too. Was that an arranged marriage? Which that still happens. Which to a Westerner is, surprising. But I know the India culture, the Indians, the true Indians, not the Native Americans or the, whether they're Native North Americans or Native Central Americans or Native South Americans, not those natives, not those Indians, the Indians across the water in India. There. The ones with the little jewel between their eyes. Okay. Um, I heard that some of them are good belly dancers too, Jill. I'm off the track again. See how women get me off the track? So, prejudiceness, raising, how you were raised. So, we got over the Japanese and the Germans being bad people, but we still were suspicious of the Russians that they were out to blow us off the face of the planet. You know, now that seems to be coming. We're thinking about that again. What's going on in Ukraine? It's cool if the Ukraine people are fighting, but they're fighting for their lives. I mean, I'm going to root for the underdog. And hey, pass them some ammunition. I actually feel sorry for the Russian soldiers. I don't think the Russian soldiers necessarily want to be there, but that's their job. You know, what's the alternative? A gulag or worse. Yeah, I think maybe the leadership of Russia is the problem at this point. Will it escalate? Now that's a scary thought because nuclear war is not doesn't appear to be all that pretty. And no, I'm not a prepper, so I'm not ready. So they're going to have to vaporize me so I don't have to worry about keeping my canned goods from the neighbors. But how you were raised. Now, for instance, the terrorists, and Jill mentioned something about talking about 911 someday. From what I understand, Islamic children are raised to hate the great Satan. That would be me and my colleagues. The Westerners. And I believe that includes England, most of Europe, definitely the United States and Canada. I don't know if Mexicans are getting off scot-free or not. I doubt it. But yeah, we're the great Satan, and we, if you read the Quran, and if I'm understanding it, they can lie to us because we're the enemy. So they can shake my hand and be nice to me and shoot me in the back or in the front because I am the great Satan. Well, you know what? I don't take lightly to that. I can see where probably many families, and I'm old enough that I don't have a family, but I can see where many families are probably telling their kids, hey, watch out for some guy wearing a towel on his head. Or some woman who is covered from head to toe. She's probably got a bomb under that dress. James Catanese. Yeah. I got a 24 coins belly dance belt. Ooh. Now I would like to see that. That would make me. I'd be okay. I think you could probably compete with Barbara Eden very well. I have missed a lot here. Talking away. The infidels is the devil. Okay. Am I an infidel? Are you an infidel? Yes, Todd. Snow. They're talking some tonight, snow flurries, and good chance of snow on the ground tomorrow or today, later today, Wednesday. No, I'm not happy. I haven't owned a snowmobile in years. Back when I was 19, having, the fastest snowmobile in the neighborhood. Yeah, it was fun. They were building I-196. They were extending I-196 from Jenison to Holland, which is basically 25 miles. And of course, they weren't done with it. And so in the winter, yeah, all this bulldozing had been done. And it was basically ready to be paved, but it was all the way from Jenison, where I live right next to Jenison, all the way to Holland. So it wasn't nothing on a Friday night in the wintertime. We'd grab our snowmobiles and off we'd go with our girlfriends to Holland. Go to, actually, Holland was one of the closest bars that we could go to on our snowmobiles. There was one in North Door, which was only like 10 miles, but you couldn't take the expressway. You had to go through farmers' fields, and you had to know how to get there. Yeah, that was a fun bar too. We'd go there on Friday nights and sing with the Williams family. It's a bluegrass band. I sang with the Williams family many Friday nights, and well, I knew the Williams family personally. My junior and my senior year of high school was predominantly music oriented. So yeah, I got great grades in high school because of music. I sucked at math, but music, I'm good. But that's how I got really acquainted with the Williams family. And they were a big Catholic family, 9 kids, all of them musical. Yeah, and they were, of course, in the choir and the madrigals, and yeah. So I'm still good friends with the Williams family, and yes, they still play the best bluegrass around. 100 degrees. Whew. You know what, though, Jill? The rumor is that, oh, it's dry heat. You won't notice that it's 100. Then I've talked to some other people who said, no, it's hot. Yeah, I think 100C could be hell. Yeah, I could check. Mumu, I forget where you are. What part of the woods are you living in, Mumu? Okay, little frog on my screen. There he is. I can show him because I don't have the green screen on. Yeah, the little frog's had a different. He's cute. He's having a cup of coffee. He's sitting on a rock, and you can see a city in the distance on in the mountains. Looks like, and he's winking, and he's got his backpack next to him. Anyways, it's 33 Fahrenheit, and with the wind chill, it's 26. Let me see, and it's going to go lower by 4 a.m. Actually, by 6 a.m. will be the coldest. It'll be 28 degrees. Okay, Ann, go talk to your third husband. I mean, go talk to the guy that's been married 3 times. Southern Caribbean, Venezuela. See, now we're being raised to be suspicious of the Venezuelans. If you listen to conservative talk show radio, the Venezuelans got, a corner on oil, and they're hooked up with the Soviet Union. I mean, yeah, there's bad pictures being painted about Venezuela. Now, I know damn well it's not the Venezuelans. It's the political people in power that are perhaps colluding with Russia. I don't know. And what was it? Cesar Chavez, and I don't know. Dictatorships. All right. Tomorrow, which would be Wednesday, which is today, we're supposed to get up to 56, and it's going to be mostly sunny. So I'm surprised. I know why I'm not working tomorrow, because my boss has to go to the eye doctor. That's the only reason we're not working tomorrow. But he'll probably want to work on Thursday when I want to go to senior pantry. So I may not get any free groceries this week. It's all propaganda. Yeah, I would say so. And some of our talk shows will say the same thing. It's not the Venezuelan people. And I rather doubt that too, because I'm no uh, stranger to publications like the National Geographic and other Smithsonian, other what I would call very, very good publications. And I've seen articles on Venezuela and Brazil and a lot of places in South America. It's beautiful down there. And how can anybody with llamas and what was those animals I filmed the other day? Alpacas. Anybody that has those for pets, big time in my book. Jill, maybe you and I should go to South America. And if we don't get, killed by the drug cartels, or worse yet, sold into slavery. Did the Williams family play the Fires? They might have. Now, I haven't been in contact with them for about 10 years now. They made a record album with Jay Rollin. Last time I seen him was in Granville at a July 4th celebration. They're from Byron Center, so that would make sense that they would have been in Granville, because it's, next door city, or village, town, whatever. All those towns that I mentioned are all suburbs of Grand Rapids. In fact, Sparta is becoming more of a suburb rather than a bedroom community. So, why do they call them bedroom communities? Oh, I know why. Because the commute takes you X amount of hours to get back and forth to work, and the only thing you do at home is sleep. Now that'd be cool. Jill teaching Moo Moo to belly dance. Can I run my camera? Can we go live on YouTube? I'll be there. All in the hips and hands. Hawaiians, native Hawaiians, their form of dance I see is similar to belly dance. And the hands are telling a story. So it's a very choreographed style of dance. Very fascinating. I don't know a lot about it, but I do know that much. So that's why I've got Hula Holly. Not Holly, my patient, but Hula Holly. And I've got another one that's Hawaiian, but actually she's not from Hawaii. She's alien gypsy. Well, she's gotta be an alien. You really don't see. I mean, it does happen on Earth, but normally Earth girls do not have 3 breasts. I'm just saying. Yes. Williams Family Gospel. Yep. Wow, this is fascinating. A dance challenge. And broken Arabic. Wow. My You're gonna think I am terrible, Jill. I don't know. I think everybody else here will probably laugh. But my favorite Arabic guy is one of Jeff's puppets. Ahmed, the dead terrorist. Silence! I kill you. How did you get your job as a terrorist? The suicide hotline. Yeah. Body language speaks volumes. That's an interesting statement. I mean, I've read some articles and YouTube about body language. Mostly the ones where, how can you tell if a girl likes you by her body language? I guess I'm not very observant. And the only Hawaiian I know is that one song, Kamana Mana Leia. Um, whatever. La Inglesa La Ca. The English lady? Or, yeah, Jeff Dunham is hilarious. I like the one skit he did where, he broke up with his wife, but they're cool. Anyways, he's in the Prius. And he's got the doll he started out with, which was little Peanut. The Peanut's in the back window of this Prius. Now, Jeff's wife, soon to be ex wife, she's following in their Hummer. A great big Jeep, military style. Well, domestic, but military. But you can see the difference between a Hummer and a Prius. A Hummer is just right over the top of the Prius. The crazy English lady. Okay, thank you. That's what I was thinking. Loca. Loca's crazy. Yeah. Where for men it'd be loco, which would be me, quote unquote. The grumpy man, yeah. Walter. I like the one where he put Walter away in his box and Walter farted. It was so. Oh, well, Mooma was from the UK. UK. Which UK? Scotland, Ireland, or England? Great Britain. And, well, wait, you said English, so I'm guessing England. I have a friend in England. Well, I actually have more than one friend. I have a friend that I've had for a long time. She's near Liverpool. I've never met her in person. Every now and then you'll see her on YouTube. Very seldom, but her name is Susan Smith. And believe it or not, before I became a YouTuber, I was a gamer. Yeah, online gaming. And that's how I met Susan. Because, online gamers have chat, and that's how I became acquainted with Susan. And we're good friends on Facebook, of course. And we've spoken on the phone. And yeah, she's a real sweetheart. But now, of course, I have subscribers that are from the United Kingdom. Hitch Up and Tow, Posh Cats Camping, Ollie Mac Mechanical. There's a bunch of scrappers over there that they're on my channel, and I go to watch them on their channels. Walter, yeah. England, okay. Used to travel to Canary Wharf. Cool. I've heard of Canary Wharf. Well, this is fascinating. I'm getting a history lesson partially and geography lesson secondary. No, no, she's plugged in. When it's bedtime, for sure bedtime, she gets unplugged. Now she used to run 24/7 because she is a Christmas decoration. She's got her little snowball. That's to hold her hat. She's got a little hat. Um, and of course the light. It's she's like a Christmas caroler, if you will, or a greeter. And I used to have her on my front porch for Christmas. Actually, I did not put her exactly on the front porch. I had her right by the sliding door looking out onto the front porch because I didn't want her to get wet. I didn't want her to get covered with snow. Yeah, it is different, isn't it, Todd? I've never done a live at night or this late. I have done a couple pop up lives, but those are mostly testing, just feeling the waters way back a couple years ago. This is the first time I ever decided to go live at night. And why? I don't know. I just felt like it. I wanted to clear the air of a few things, that I'm not really getting that accomplished, but that's okay. If anything else, I didn't make a video today. In April we're supposed to make a video every day, every day, every day, every day, according to Frankie Joy Root. I don't know where she heard that, but she said YouTube said got to make a video every day. Okay, so I've been making 2 or 3 videos every day. Today didn't work out. And it was raining. I thought, you know what? They've seen me enough times in the park in the rain where I'd stand in my truck rather than walking around the park. So it didn't happen today. I didn't have anything very noteworthy. Not that this is noteworthy, but we're here. You know, let's put it this way: Tina's the outsider was more noteworthy than me. You know, but she could have had a whole lot more people on her live stream had she played her cards just a little bit better, but she didn't. And it don't matter. It'll happen when it happens. Originally, I was trying to set it up with BB3 where we would do a raid. Well, that was supposed to happen this past evening, but now it's not going to happen until the 3rd. So hope you write it down on your calendar. BB is going to put up a thumbnail, maybe tomorrow, to advertise it a little bit. But yeah, BB3 and I will do a special get together live stream on Tuesday night, 6:45 p.m. Yeah, I've never been to Tucson. I've been to Phoenix, not to Tucson. I want to go to all of them. I want to go to. I'd like to see Phoenix again. I definitely want to go to Tucson. If nothing else, to meet you, Jill. And then there's other areas in Arizona that I definitely want to see. And New Mexico. Love that the other night. Were you there, Jill, when Roy and Scott were driving around in the desert, middle of the night? That looked like fun. I'm going to do something similar. That Rogue River path I found the other day, that where you got to have 4-wheel drive almost to get through it. And if it keeps raining, we'll definitely have to have 4-wheel drive because I'm sure it turns into a muddy mess. But I'm thinking I'll do it at night. I'm going to explore it during the daytime first, but then do it at night. I checked out the prices on a light bar for the truck. I think I can put a good light bar that works off the cigarette lighter for about $40. I could put magnets on it. I wouldn't have to leave the light bar mounted on the hood of or the top of the truck all the time, or maybe I could. I don't know. I'm not planning on drilling holes. I'm thinking just hold it down with magnets, um, and then plug it into the cigarette lighter when I want to use it. I think it might be fun. Drive around the middle of the night, the Rogue River Trail. Might see deer, might see bobcat. Don't know. Meth labs. Joe, I don't know. I'm not going to that meetup by any means. I won't be leaving here. If I get to leave here, it will be August, and then it might be just a temporary. I want to go to the Schooly UP get together. I think Steampunk Steve is going to be there, and maybe some other Canadians too. Um, and I'm sure there'll be other schoolies at Schooly UP. Tina went last year, and in fact, she's the one that told me about it. I didn't know anything about it. Um, RV Ashes in April, they went to the Schooly UP last year at the same time that Tina was there. Um, Aja from Pandemonium, she went. There was a few heavy hitters at the Schooly UP. So I plan on going to that. And then, of course, M22, I'm definitely committed to M22 in September. So, yeah. Yeah, and I have four-wheel drive. So, in fact, I'm glad I have four-wheel drive. We had a few days this winter that I was thankful I had four-wheel drive. My friend Sensei Don, he's like, oh, you don't need four-wheel drive. You don't need four-wheel drive. Rah, rah, rah. Too much gas money. Rah, 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 rah. Well, up yours, Don. I'm glad I had it, and I don't care how much gas it took. I felt much more safe, and I didn't go in the ditch and stay in the ditch. In fact, I never went in the ditch. But I would have gone in the ditch if I had not had four-wheel drive. So there. You want to meet Papa Drew? Oh, boy. You were in for a treat, Jill. I don't know if you tell him that you're a belly dancer. You might give him a heart attack. Yeah, good light is important for that. Scott had a light bar on his Jeep. Well, Jeep. He gets offended if you call it a Jeep. It's a Samurai, Subaru Samurai. I said, oh, you got one of those rice burners. They use those for taxis in Indonesia. Yeah. No, it's a cool little four-wheel drive. Yeah, Papa Drew is, let's put it this way, when he comes on your live stream, it goes south right away. He's right on the edge of the sexual innuendos all the time. He makes me look like a missionary priest, something I don't know. Anyway, yeah, he definitely, and I actually do know a little bit about Papa Drew. That's part of a reaction. I don't think he was always that silly. Buckeye Kitty knows him probably better than any of us on YouTube. And she's told me a couple things that his divorce devastated him emotionally. I don't think he's too devastated financially. I mean, look how much money he put in that bus. Oh my God. It's got a 2-person hot tub in it, Joe. That might be worth it. A hot tub in the school bus. Amazing. Well, maybe. Okay. Yeah, Papa Drew is amazing. Well, he's got his own Facebook uh, group. Uh, what's it called? I'm actually a member of it, and I never go there. The only one I go to is M22 Facebook group. I think it's just called Papa Drew's RV Life or Papa Drew's Adventures. I don't know. But yeah, he does have a Facebook page and a big following. Drive a buggy in the desert. Yeah. Yeah, that'd be fun. I've seen several YouTube channels there where they've done that out in Arizona and different places. Pat, our flat earth friend, he's got ATVs. And I mean, they get up there and they boogie. I mean, they raise a cloud of dust for sure. They would probably piss off some campers with the dust they raise with those ATVs. Now, Pat is a camper too. And the reason I laugh when I say his name, he's a flat earther. He believes the earth is flat. I'm like, yeah, how flat is it when I see your ATV, all four wheels off the ground? James and Millie had a party? I didn't know that. I still owe Millie a pole dance. Never say never. That's good, Joe. And I haven't given up on pole dancing. Right now, I probably fall off the pole. But the more I work out, the more agile I'm becoming. And I'm going to have to make a new pair of Daisy Dukes. I mean, I have two blue jean mini kilts, but I don't dare use those, especially when I go upside down. A roller coaster, yep. Mount Lemon, 9,100 feet. Wow. That sounds fun. That's the kind of thing I like. Actual roller coaster, I loved them when I was a kid. Cedar Point in Sandusky, Ohio. Oh man, let's go. Roller coasters. I mean, hold my hands up. I'm not hanging on to the bar. Now you can't even get me to stand in line for one. I'm too scared. I'm not going on those rides. Kilts are cool. Yes, they are actually. Um, I like the coolness, the freedom, if you will. Um, and I'm just barely within the law. If I could go outlaw, I would. Who needs a kilt? Who needs anything? Especially in the summer. If it's above 70 degrees, I'm shedding clothes. And, I like my vitamin D. I like my all over tan. And if you don't want to see me naked, stop looking in my windows. Anyway, yeah, but I got to make some Daisy Dukes. I don't know. Somewhere I got a blue jean candidate that's time to cut the legs off. And not cut the crotch out accidentally. That's how I ended up with two mini kilts. I don't drink anymore, so maybe I won't make that mistake. Screaming and laughing at the same time. Yeah. Before the big quartzite meetup. Oh, okay. All right. Okay. But yeah, Jill or James and Millie were traveling for a while back then. I don't know where they're headquartered now. They might be Oklahoma City or still in Oklahoma. Or I did hear rumors that James is going to take a job somewhere, Florida, East Coast, maybe. Don't know. They've been a couple times. Millie stopped in a couple times on live streams, and I'm so busy yakking that all I do is say hi, Millie, and then I never really get to ask her. Thank you. I'll try to put it in my brain. And this Saturday, if Millie comes on, I'll ask her, where are you guys? Barely, in the literal sense. You're right, Moo. Yeah, that's at least one point that I've made tonight. You know, people may not like it, and I don't care whether they like it or not. I do not like clothes. In fact, I'm thinking of taking this shirt off because it's warmed up in here. It might be because the laptop is sitting on my lap and it's warm. Michelle's not warm. The wall slightly cool, but the heating vent is above me and I can hear it blowing. So Holly may have turned the thermostat up. Went on a date, or went to a date. A nudist resort. Whoa. Did you go? Okay. All right, JD. I didn't know you were here, but oh no, Joe. Sorry, I looked at it wrong. Joe. Bon voyage, sweet dreams. Okay. All right, Joe. I could give it a try. I could give it a go. Um Holly, believe it or not, she's been to a nudist colony. Oh, really? Yeah, she says she wasn't very comfortable until she was able to get in the pool. Okay. I think I'd be okay. You know, it doesn't, I don't look at nudity in a sexual sense. I don't know if it's because, my nursing experience could be. It could be. It's the human body. It's what it is. Are there some human bodies that are more attractive than others? Of course there are. That goes without saying. Um, I think physical, not that every man's going to look like Arnold Schwarzenegger or a Texas Ranger. What's his name? And not that every girl's going to be, bathing beauty, Sports Illustrated, whatever model. No, there's a lot of beauty regardless. And as in all nature, the human body is a miracle. It's a miracle, period. Clothing, I don't know. I think if you were to ask some of our Polynesian friends, our Filipino friends, maybe even Millie, um, I think had it not been for Western influence, they'd probably all still be running around naked. Why not? Same thing in Africa and some of the hotter climates, if you will. I think the Garden of Eden was probably in a warm climate. So, I almost went to work. I applied for the job as the chief engineer for the Lyndon Johnson Hospital on the island of Pango Pango, which is also known as U.S. Somalia. It's a United States possession in the Southern Pacific Ocean. Is also the home port. Pango Pango is the home port of the Love Boat. Well, I talked to the gentleman that was leaving that job. It's a 2-year contract. You work for the government for 2 years, and then you can renew if you want. And he was telling me the ups and downs. And he said for him, he enjoyed the climate. He said it rained every day. It was basically 84 degrees all the time and extremely humid. And he said that was good. He liked that. And he said, as far as the work, he said it was frustrating because if you needed a part, it would take 3 months to get, let's say, an air conditioning pump or other parts to fix something. And he said the other part was your employees are native Somalians. He says they're lazy as fuck. they, they don't want to do anything. Well, you think about it, if it's 84 degrees all the time, why would you want to put on clothes and go to work? Hey, I might have been lazy too. Oh, I'm sure I'll love Tucson. I've been told that I would love Orlando. I don't know. Shot in the Dark with Peter Sellers. Sabine Canyon has a nude waterfall area with a guitar, okay. Oh, really? I haven't heard that, Moo. They might as well. Why not? Joe, go at Joe. That's cute. Sabina Canyon. I think that's how you say that. That's a German name. Sabina. A girl named Sabina taught me how to waltz. I was 16. She was an exchange student at Wyoming High School. This is 1970. Yeah, Sabina Stan. She was from Germany. Stuttgart is where she was from. And we stayed pen pals for a while, but after a while, I don't know what became of Sabina, but I still appreciate that she taught me to waltz. Sabina Canyon. All right. I've been on here a lot longer than I thought I was going to be. I don't know if I accomplished anything, but we certainly had fun. Peter Sellers, Inspector Clouseau. Where's my eyeglasses? Inspector Clouseau. Ba-dum, da-dum, 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 da-dum. We'd be in the pink for sure. We'd be in our pink bathing suits, birthday suits. Yeah. Oh, was he really? I thought we were just making this up. I haven't seen that one. I better look it up. I'm nudist again. That's hilarious. We have them around here in Michigan. There's at least one that I know of down by St. Joseph on Lake Michigan shore. That's private. Shot in the Dark. Inhibition, Joe. Inhibition. Have you ever had an Reifenpanne im Schnee? That's a screwed up day when you have a Reifenpanne in the Schnee. In high school, two of my better courses, say sophomore year, freshman and sophomore, I took Spanish and German at the same time for 2 years. So, yeah, una poco as far as Espanol and inhibition as far as Deutsch. So, yeah, I love Peter Sellers. Another one is Ray. What's his name? Ray Ray Stevens. Oh my. Yeah. Sometimes I would get German and Spanish mixed up together. It's interesting, the roots of languages. Many languages have common roots that predominantly lead back to Latin, but there are some that are not. There is that influence, though. And maybe some sounds are just natural, like ah, just as an example, ah. I'm trying to think. German and Swedish, Norwegian, Finnish, those languages are more considered guttural languages. And I can't remember what the roots are supposed to be. Mongolian is, of course, but what's the roots to Mongolian? So, Jen, everybody knows Jen. Thank you for it, man. Gut word. Guttural. Was ist los? Lost my train of thought. Gesundheit. I'm getting tired. Languages. Chinese. And Japanese. The picture alphabets somehow. Fascinating. Yeah, I don't know. Language is cool. Learning the language is cool. Oh, now I remember. Jen told me that if I wanted to learn an overall good language for his part of the world, would be to learn Swedish. Once you know Swedish, you pretty much can pick up on the Finnish, Norwegian, Danish, all of those countries. Their languages are similar, almost to the fact that it's like they're like dialects of Swedish. So I thought that was cool. So have I picked up the phone and called Babbel yet? No, I haven't. Can I learn Swedish on my own? Yeah, I can. I'm amazed at how well Jen has, he speaks fluent English. Perfect English, better than I do. Of course, I'm an American swine. I speak pig English. Not the Queen's English by any means. A good giggle, yeah. So, Ford man, off Wiedersehen, yes. Not quite ready yet to go. Mr. Bean. Ford man is Ron. Is Ron going? Ron Darrell, is he going live? Hurry up, answer me. I don't know where that cough came from. Hang on. Oh, I can't wear the shirt anymore. It's just... I'm sweating. It's tucked down there. Whew. Oh. Oh. Much better. My hair is all messed up. Whew, there. Much better. Coach Michael Burt is on. Oh no, he put out a video. I thought he was alive. Oh, yes, British humor. Some of it's hard to catch on to. See, Saturday night or early Sunday morning, if you will, Benny Hill comes on Antenna TV. We get it on channel 17. Yeah, I've gotten up a couple times to watch him. I think it's about 1 a.m. he comes on. Hilarious. Oh, yeah. I do have water here besides the Kool-Aid. Do you know that the meditation music, and it's not just celestial sublimations, whatever that one channel is, it's a YouTube channel. There's other ones too, where you can get into a meditative state with the music or the binaural tones, the sounds of rain, thunderstorms, rivers flowing. Yes.
Hey, are you done with that?
Not quite, but I'm just asking Ford Man, when does what's his name come on? And then I'll end it. I'm going to end it anyways in about 10 minutes.
Whatever. Yeah, you take your time. I'll call you again when I'm ready.
Okay, call.
Your name so long it won't be back up.
Oh, I'm sorry.
My
Well,
phone wasn't working at all.
Oh, okay.
I finally just figured it out so I can make a call.
Okay, well, call me when you're ready. All right? All right. What that means is she's still watching TV, and she's not quite ready to have me change her oxygen over from daytime to nighttime. Justin and Christina, welcome aboard. Monte Python, Goons Python. What's that? Yeah, Seagull just stole my thoughts. She goes on nighttime oxygen, which means I have to switch her over to the BPAP machine. That's where she wears like more of a mask with a big tube. Then that goes through this machine that's got hydration. I know it doesn't have the chemical in it. That's a different. That's her nebulizer one, which they finally gave her the medicine to put in the nebulizer today. She's been without it for over a month. And it's very expensive, but somehow she managed to get it approved, and it costs $1.35. Hopefully that will help her bring her oxygen down to where she can, where she's at 98% instead of lower. I've seen her in the 70s for her oxygen level. Not good. But anyways, I have to up the oxygen generator 2 degrees. It goes from 4 to 6. And then that pumps in the extra oxygen into this BPAP machine and blah, blah, blah. So that's her sleeping mode of oxygen. And I have to do all the changeover for her. And then the reverse process in the morning. She can do it herself if she has to, because there are times when I have to leave and go to work before she's ready to be awake. So she can do it on her own. She just don't like to. Yeah, it is dangerous. And you can tell when she's gasping. That's not good. We have the oximeter and all that to check that. But it's usually obvious when she's low on her oxygen count. But now with the nebulizer, she may be able to get back down in the 2 range, which is, I don't know, 2 liters. I don't know how that's figured, how it's calibrated. But at any rate, if she can get down to 2 or lower, perfect. We can actually stop using the BPAP machine and go to a battery-powered oxygen unit. Maybe take the big monster generator with us just in case she gets worse while traveling. Somehow I think traveling will actually help her. I don't know. She gets bored to death here at the house because all she does is lay on the couch and watch TV. And now lately she has been cooking, which has helped me. You know, takes a little off my plate to have to do. But at any rate, if she can just feel better and get better, she stops smoking. She won't stop till she decides to stop. Yeah, I think she would, Joe. She said that, her and her first husband had a Class C motorhome. They traveled, vacations. Not so much out west or anything like that, just mostly the local Upper Peninsula, Michigan and Ohio and, around the Great Lakes states. So, yeah, I heard that, Justin, that you guys are getting anxious to get back on the road again. That is so cool. That is so cool. Yeah, you could, Joe. Holly actually does need somebody. I get a little short with her sometimes because she gets short with me. And sometimes I'm close to just losing it. It's like, no, you're not going to sit there and tell me what to do. I'm free white, 21. I'm not a little kid. And if I didn't put the window shade exactly 2 inches to the south like you want it, and you're calling me on the phone to come back out to the living room to make that 2-inch adjustment, you can kiss my ass. I eventually end up doing it because she just screams and bloody murder if I don't. Thank you, Justin. Yeah, change the scenery. Yep. Now, see, I get to change the scenery almost every day. I hop in the truck and decide, hey, let's go north. Let's go south. Let's go get lost. Where does that road go? Maps? Who needs a map? I just turn down the road. Yeah. There she is. Moon was awake. The proverbial they. They know everything. They tell you the weather. They tell you who to vote for. They, and they say. The proverbial they. See how we're brainwashed? I'm the great Satan. Or is it Santa? I don't know. You follow the spirit. Now, I had a thought about the ASMR, and I'm getting tired and I'm starting to lose it. Of course, I did that video about subliminal. Yeah, if you haven't watched that one, it's kind of funny. It's a Captain Jack one, Captain Jack's Planet. And I'm not wearing a shirt in that particular video. It's about manifestation. Is it Eastern Standard Time where you are, Mumu? It almost seems like it would be giving longitude, not latitude, longitudinal line. Would it be right now? It's 2 a.m. where I'm at in good old Michigan. Okay, Joe, what I tried to come to clear the air about is basically me being selfish. Hello, I'm single. I do not have any type of a romantic relationship with Holly or with anybody. Do I want a romantic relationship? Yes, I do. With who? I don't know. I was chasing Tina for a while. Of course, she knows that. she she puts me down pretty fast. It's like she's not ready. But yeah, but the problem I have is that I have Holly as my roommate, so dating is difficult because even though I'm being truthful about my situation, I would think that many girls would probably be turned off by the fact that I live with a woman, that I'm that woman's nurse, roommate, nurse, yada yada, friend. I don't know. I it's just difficult, and that's pretty much how I wanted to clear the air. Not to not that it amounts to hill beans, but it kind of seemed like I needed to get it off my chest. Elf Lord's Journeys, Retro, Oregon. Too bad Ann isn't here. Okay, Eastern Standard Time. Okay, so you're on time, same frame. Okay. So 40 winks. If you have to get up at 4, that would be 20 winks per hour. I can do 20 winks in about a minute. All right. I did make Tina laugh pretty good a few days ago. You know about all her troubles with her van. Then I caught her eating spinach one day. I hate spinach. A little bit, maybe with on the pizza, perhaps once in a while. That's no, but as to eat spinach right out of the damn can like Tina can, nope, 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 nope. Yeah, thank you, Justin. You're correct. If they don't understand it, well, then they're probably not my same level of thinking, whichever level that is. uh, what's that? What's that one joke? Stop putting your boobs on my eye level. Okay. Um, Gosh, I'm getting sidetracked. Dolphins are starting to swim through here. 40 winks. Da, da, da. Sometimes I can sleep 2 hours and I'm refreshed and I go. And other times I need 8, 9, 12. I don't know. I do sleep better with that rain sound. It kind of, I don't know, puts me in dreamland quite soon. Well, I could ask for and Jill, I think you could relate to this because it is biblical, Old Testament. Proverbs 31. My joke is Proverbs 31 is a myth. Excuse me. I better finish the Romulan ale before it's gone. I mean, before it's warm. I think it's got too much sugar in it. Sweet enough, right? um, Yeah. If you haven't watched that Captain Jack's Planet, the recent one about the subliminal, I think you'll laugh at it. But yeah, I enjoy the meditative process and stuff. And I sleep. Oh, audiobooks. Yes. Now, I don't have audiobooks, but I can go on here on YouTube. In fact, earlier this afternoon, I was watching one, listening to one. I didn't have to see all the stuff, but it was a scientist guy. And he was talking way beyond my knowledge, quantum physics, And I went right to sleep. And I woke up an hour and a half later, and he's still blah, blah, blah. Who knows? Maybe I absorbed knowledge in my sleep. Maybe I'll be smashing particles together before you know it. I'll probably be smashing my head on the pillow before you know it. Well, before study time. Yeah, meditation before study is excellent. I'm a firm believer in that, by the way. Let's see, this would have been 1984. I decided I wanted to get my builder's license. Now, to get a builder's license, you need to be up there, and you need to take tests to test your knowledge before you can apply for your license. And you have to get, I believe it's 80% or better. Below 80%, you might better study some more. And it's a long test. And it's probably even longer today than it was back when I took it. And back then it was $90 to take the test. Taking the test cost more than your license did. I think the license was $45 a year for your license, whereas just to take the test was $90, which was a chunk of change in 84. But I saved up the $90. I applied and got admitted to take the test on a certain Saturday, whatever it was. And I kept saying, yeah, I should really study and grab a couple books on, studying for your builder's license. Well, I was too busy working. When I'd get done work, I'd have a couple of beers, go back to bed, and then get back up and go back to work. I was raising 3 kids, and, I was gung-ho, balls to the wall, going to be a millionaire before I'm 40, Yeah. Now I'm working on my second million. I gave up on my first, yeah. So, anyways, here comes Saturday, and I haven't studied one bit. I drove to Lansing, which is a little over an hour away, and I prayed. I prayed all the way there. Get you. I've never took any courses on how to be a builder. I never took any of that stuff. And I certainly didn't study. In fact, I never even got around to buying or borrowing a book on how to pass your builder's license test. No, I never did. But I just prayed while I was driving. And there was over 100 guys in this big room. I think we were at University of Michigan. No, Michigan State, excuse me. Michigan State. University of Michigan's in Ann Arbor. I was at Michigan State in Lansing. That's the capital of Michigan. Anyways, yeah, and it was like taking an exam in college or, whatever. It was quiet time. You got 2 pencils and you got this booklet with over 200 questions in it. I mean, some of them were essay. I was the first one done out of over 100 participants. I mean, first one done. I walked to the back where the guy, he says, "You sure you did the whole test?" And, "Yes, sir." I handed him my booklet, my pencils, And I left. I got in the truck and left. He told me, so we'll let you know. And, he was kind of like skeptical of me. Well, I didn't care. I finished the test. I knew I finished the test. I double checked myself before I got up to leave. Apparently, I was, half an hour ahead of everybody else. Because I didn't leave the parking lot right away. I just kind of sat there and I prayed a little bit. And had some more coffee that I had with me in my thermos. And then I started up the truck to leave. And then I started seeing guys coming out of the building that had been in there taking the test. And it was easily a half an hour ahead of anybody. So I was the first one done with the test. 3 days later, I got the envelope in the mail. I said, okay, prepare to be disappointed. But I actually felt like, no, this is going to be good news. Yeah, it was. I got 98%. I was the highest percentile of all of them. Like, what did I miss? I missed 4 questions out of 200. So I saw what those were, and I can almost tell you what they were now. But anyways, yeah, I got my builder's license, and everything's cool. Did I use my builder's license? No, not so much. I went to work for a hospital and didn't really need to use my builder's license. I didn't need to go out and build houses. I mean, I had built a couple, and then I did remodeling, lots of remodeling. Oh, my goodness. But I went to work for the hospital. I was making better money working for the hospital than I was building houses. And yeah, so that's how I became more ingrained into healthcare. But I think I could go for my builder's license today and pass it too. Why? Because God's with me. Okay, Moo Moo, get your sleep. Shut eye. Yeah, short to long-term memory. Subliminal goes into your subconscious, which is your long-term memory. So I believe that those things are real. There's people that are real skeptical. But I have fun with it too. Now, I still pray. I pray to God. But I listen to ASMR or subliminal. There's a bunch. Music to meditate by yada yada. 369, the numbers, the God numbers, the divine numbers, if you will. Yeah, I kind of follow a little bit of that. Can it be works of the devil? Perhaps, but I'm treading carefully with God's guidance. And so far, I haven't fallen into a pit of darkness. So, and I will be using a subliminal. I might just use the dark and stormy night one. That one puts me right to sleep in 2 minutes. But it's not subliminal. It's just the sound of rain. Every now and then, if you're half awake, you'll hear wolves in the distance, or maybe coyotes. I don't know. And of course, it's the rain and thunder. Then it'll taper off a little bit and get quiet. And all of a sudden, the rain and thunder will start back up again. And crescendo. There's owls, crows. Oh, and dogs in the distance barking. It's very, very peaceful to me. It's a dark and stormy night. It's 8 hours. There's no subliminal to it. And the man who created it has passed away. Brad, I can't think of his last name right off the top of my head, but Brad was his name. Man, you know how some of the meditation ones, they're basically a 10-minute loop that repeat themselves. Some are even less than 10 minutes. You know it. You can hear that little click. It just went into a reloop. I can make one of those. I can make one and tell you how to play it, because you can put on your computer. You could put this on endless play. You just play over and over and over and over again until you knew every cell on my face, every pimple on my nose, and on Michelle's. Yeah, you can put it in endless loop. So, but you'd hear a click probably before it repeated itself. At any rate, you don't hear any clicks in Brad's production. You don't hear them. And if there is a loop, they're a lot longer than 10 minutes. So, and they vary. Not every loop is the same. So, yeah, he probably spent, who knows, in a 10-hour production, he may have spent 3-4 hours producing it or more. I don't know. It's excellent. It's excellent. So it's called It's a Dark and Stormy Night. And it's supposed to be spooky. No, it's not. He tries to make it that way at first. It's a comedy. And then after a bit, it gets down to serious. He says, all right, we have enough of creepy guys carrying signs and spooks. Enough of that. And then it just goes into the stormy sounds, and yeah, it's very peaceful. Now, some people don't like storms or rain, but something else might work for them, like the ocean noises or flowing waterfall, maybe. White noise. There's even white noise ones out there where you can be on a spaceship in outer space. That's cool stuff. What's gross? Uh-oh. Thank you, Joe. I will keep my faith. Okay, Moo Moo's going to bed. What's gross now? Oh, my pimples. You're welcome, Moo Moo. You turn into a pumpkin. Oh, and that's pretty close now. Pumpkin. My first wife, I called her Pumpkin as a pet name. Not that she was orange and she wasn't plump. Yeah, I just called her Pumpkin. I don't know why. I think it's because my dad would call my mom Pumpkin every once in a while. Don't ask. My mom and dad were crazy. They had pet names for each other. Some were a little bit on the south edge, I think. I am going to do a video about my parents next month. I got to talk to my sister because I want her to be involved with it too. Kind of a tribute. And my sister's, let's face it, she's getting up in years. She's 85. She's not quite the spring chicken that she was. And yeah, we are like, we're so much alike, but yet we were not raised together. So, but we got pretty much the same sense of humor, and we pretty much see eye to eye. So we'll have a good time. It'll be Memorial Day soon, so yeah, Moo Moo she's great. Okay, it's 2:19. I didn't hear from Ford Man if what's his name is on. Linda Barker. They're moving. She moves. She kind of repeats herself. Hey, she tells me what to type or what to say. So you think you're on a live stream with me? No, Michelle set it all up. Anyways, I don't know if Fordman answered me or not. It's quite possible that Ron Darrell's live. Chances are very good that he is live. But I'm going to call it. I got to change over Holly's oxygen. I got to empty the commode. One of the water filtration units needs to be emptied and added to. I bought distilled water for it today. You know what? Talk about inflation. In the fall, distilled water was 89 cents. Do you know that it's $1.39 per gallon now? That's ridiculous. Oh well, but anyways, yeah, those chores I got to do for Holly. Get her switched over to the BPAP, and then I can come in here and turn on the subliminal affirmations and catch 40 winks like Moo Moo. I'm gonna catch more than 40, but hopefully tomorrow I might get to the junkyard to get the Saturn part. Maybe not. I might be doing a video for Facebook Marketplace for the Class C motorhome and possibly a speedboat. There's some scrap to pick up at West River Auto. There's scrap to pick up in Comstock Park. I got that call today. There's scrap in Sparta to pick up, but I haven't exactly gotten permission for that yet. Whoever took my note, I don't see my note on the door anymore, but they have not called me. So I may have to knock on the door and say, hey. So I left a note on the weekend. Other than that, who knows what's going on? I just know it's going to be cold. Yeah, 40 weeks equals, I don't know. Yeah, 50% increase. It's highway robbery. Thank you, Joe Biden. And I've noticed other things. I'm the one that does the shopping, so yes, I am noticing the increases in prices. And Holly's not noticed. And I try to tell her, hey, that's kind of getting out of it. Today she had to have sliced cheese. And I called her. I said, look, I'm at the store. They have Colby Jack sliced cheese on sale, $1.88 for a pound. Oh, I gotta have American cheese. So $3 and something for a pound of American cheese, which should have been about $1.79 if it was for real prices. Thank you, Joe Biden. All right, let's go, Brandon. Politics. So, Michelle, what do you think? Scary thoughts. But I think what she really means is good night, everybody. Fair winds and smiles, and may God bless. Thank you for listening to me rant for a couple hours. See you later. End broadcast.